Have you ever loved something so dearly before that it became a part of you, part of your personality? Whenever there was a topic of conversation, it would be the first thing you bring up. This could be something like YouTube making, music making, or art form in general. But over the years, as you gained older in age, it weighed on you personally. You learned to despise it. You learned to hate it with every fiber of your internal being. Well, my friends, King Alex Gilbert, has also went through this before, and let me tell you about this tale. It all started with art. That was my thing. I loved doing art as an elementary school student. I was exceptional, always ahead of the curve. I'd get put in the little nice art galleries at our school. Yet as the years went on, I slowly became less exceptional and more average. First grade, exceptional. Second grade, average. And yet I was stunted. There was a plateau. I was no longer getting better at art. I was stagnant, no longer improving. Third grade, I was now behind the curve. Yet this did not faze me. I was still doing what I loved. It was participation, not being graded. It doesn't matter what other people thought of what I was creating. It mattered what I thought I was creating. And what I thought I was creating was immaculate, amazing, grandiose. Unfortunately, this would be bad. Coming into 4th grade, this project was not an art project. It was a history project that included art elements. And this is what angered me so viciously to this day. The project was very simple. We were studying the Revolutionary War and great figures in the Revolutionary War. We had to pick one figure and do very minute research because we were elementary school kids, so just very basic stuff. But you had to pick one figure and use a cereal box and make it look decorative, I guess. Like, make it look really cool. Like, have a decorative, informational cereal box that you can turn, and there's, like, George Washington's face and stuff, and then facts under it. Well, obviously, I picked George Washington because I'm an OG. America, heck yeah. So, I picked up George Washington. I'm doing my thing, right? It's all artsy, and obviously, at this point, 4th grade, my art has been stunted since 1st grade, getting not better at all, by the way, not in the slightest. So up to this point, I'd never figured out, oh, you can get graded for how well other people perceive your art, even though art is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, doesn't matter. Who cares? So I'm just doing my thing, right? Oblivious to what was about to come. My teacher at the time, my history teacher, she was going around fist bumping the little kids, giving them big hugs, high-fiving, because, like, it's a really fun project. I'm having fun as well. I'm just doing my thing, coloring, doing my stuff. Well, she comes over to mine, and she picks up this condescending tone, because normally she's talking to us, I wouldn't say like normal adults would, but like in a happier voice. Well, she picks up this condescending tone, and it was like a little bit something like this. I'll tell you what she said. "Oh, Alex, it was really good. This is amazing." Obviously, I'm not a girl, so I can't do like the really high-pitched condescending voice, but you got the point. And she's just saying, "Oh, this is really good. This is amazing, guys." Well, as an oblivious, I don't know what age I was, 7 or 8-year-old, I'm sitting here like, yes, she really likes it. Yes, man. So I'm just doing my thing. And then she's like, well, you don't have this art stuff, so maybe, is this B quality? And I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. Because at the time, I had all A's for the entire school, 4.0 GPA, never gotten below a B in elementary school. So I had like probably a 98% overall in our class. This little B on this project, even if it was 200 points, was not going to drop my grade more than 2%. And it was not even going to be close to remotely affecting my letter grade to drop to a B. So I'm like, yeah, sure. It is what it is. I don't know why I'm getting docked these points, but sure. And then she has the audacity to be like, okay, maybe a C then? And at this point, my little brain was like working overtime here because she said it's good, but then she keeps dropping the percentage down. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Because once again, even if I got an F on the project, my grade was not going to be adversely affected from this at all, really, to be honest with you. So I'm like, sure. And then she's like, okay, how about a D! At this point, my little brain was like, what is she talking about? Because even me, as a naive 4th grader, was sitting here like, what does she mean? How, like, she said it was good, but now she's trying to give me a D. And at this point, I'm starting to feel a little bad. So I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. You know, I didn't say that. I was just like, okay. And then she was like, Alex. And she got all stern. Like, you know what those teachers are like when they get really mean? Because you have like that really chill teacher, but when the really chill teacher gets extremely aggressive, you're like, oh snap. Is he talking to me? Well, that's basically what happened. She dropped the condescending voice immediately. She's like, Alex, can you meet me out in the hallway for a second? Now, I'm an extremely introverted person, especially as a child. So I'm basically trembling at this point. My knees are shaking, my whole face lit as red as a tomato. It was absolutely insane. So I'm sitting here shaking. I'm like, ugh, looking down at the ground, hoping that we don't have to make eye contact, because I already have a really hard time talking to teachers alone. I don't even ask to go to the bathroom. I hold it until I go home. That's how bad it is. And now I have to talk to her one-on-one in the hallway. And as a kid, I already knew, I'm going out the hallway, I'm getting in trouble for some reason. Because that's just what you know. When the teacher pulls you out in the hallway, you're in trouble. So at this point, I'm like, crap, it's over for me. Let's just get it over with. Let's hopefully this will be painless. Completely painless. Super fast. Let's do it. So I got my game face on. I'm trying to hold back the trembling and like the redness on my face, right? I'm like stunched up like this. I'm walking out in the hallway as like, I don't know, maybe a 3 foot tall 4th grader. Just walking down the hallway. And then she takes me down the hallway, shuts the door. That's how you know it's going to get absolutely real. Because when they shut the door, they're going to flame you basically. So at this point, I'm visibly shaking, my entire face is red, and I think she saw this as well. And then she stares me right in the eyes, and she goes off on me. Like, holy crap. She just starts, I wouldn't say she was yelling at me, but she raised her voice significantly. She's like, in my class, you work, and you work to get A+. I don't care what you think. You're probably gonna go home to your family with this disgusting art project and be like, we really got her today, guys. But did you take me as a fool? I know you're not putting any effort into this. You absolutely suck. I mean, I don't think she said that part, but you know she was thinking it. And she just kept going, basically flaming me up. And remember, I'm insanely introverted. I'm basically shaking before this whole process started. I'm as red as a tomato. And at this point, I'm like, holy crap, what is going on here in my mind? I'm starting to tear up, like in my eyes. I'm not crying yet, but I'm holding it back because I don't really want to cry at school because, like, nobody wants to do that. So I'm holding it back. I'm shaking like an earthquake's going on at school. And then she hits it. Like, she finishes it off with, try better. I'm heavily disappointed in you. And I crave validation, right? Especially as a young child, impressionable. And that just hit me. Because she disappointed me? For what? I was trying my best. And I want to clarify that with you guys. I was trying my best on this project, obviously. It's just that as time went on, my art skills plateaued. I don't know how to get better at art. I mean, this wasn't even an art class. This was a history project that just happened to have an art element. And then she finishes off her conversation with, you guys sit out 5 minutes for recess. So at this point, I'm pretty sure a few tears slid down my face. She opened up the door, sent me back into class. And I remember all the kids were like looking at me, they're like, whoa, what's wrong, Alex? I'm sure some of them even said that. And I just, was looking at the ground, holding it back tears, like I'm sniffing a little bit, like the thing, like when you're about to tear, you got the sniffles coming on. And then I just sit down. And I grab my pencil, I grab my crayons, and I just keep working on this project. All my friends, they look at me and they're like, hey, all right? Don't respond to them. I'm sure a few more tears ran off my face. I was like that for about the rest of class for about 30 or 40 more minutes, and then it was recess time. I sat out on recess for no reason, by the way. I don't think, I'm allowed to get what grade I want on the test. I don't understand what she was on. I don't know if she had high standards for me. Like I said, I was a very high-performing student, so those grades would mean nothing. I was very respectful in class. I would never talk out. And this was the first straw where I basically was like, okay, maybe art's not what it's cut out to be. Because I had this person that I am supposed to respect, and after that, I stopped respecting her. But before that, she was my teacher, right? So I was respecting her. I was like, she was a figure that I wanted to be like. And she basically said my art was garbage without actually telling me. She said it every way possible without actually saying it. And that was my first straw. It wasn't the last, but I like keeping my videos short, which means this is part 1 of why the king despises art. Thank you all for watching. Comment below if you want to hear the other parts. I don't know how well this is going to do because this is more like a kind of complainy storytelling video, and I don't know how people are going to resonate with that. I'm not trying to complain. I just want to get across some other points because it can't just all be sunshine and rainbows here, obviously. So thank you all for watching. This is King Alex Gilbert on Why the King Despises Art, Part 1. Like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you all. Peace out, people.